All right, everybody. Welcome back to episode 53 of Top Tier Podcast. My name is Carol Poppy.
Nick Hogan here.
Let's just get right into it. It's no intro. Let's get right into it. So Giannis. So there's a lot of talk about
Giannis.
There's been a lot of talk about Giannis, and a reporter asked him, basically, did you fail this year? Was this a fail?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
I have the audio right here. Let's just play a little bit of it, just so we can react to it.
Because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay, do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success, and if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it, Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, exactly. So why you asking me that question?
Why you ask me that question?
It's a wrong question.
Why you ask me that question?
There's no failure.
He said there's no failure in sports. I don't agree with him.
Well, I
think sports is all about successes and failures, wins and losses. Otherwise, there would be no records. Yeah, rings. Otherwise, there'd be no records. No one would take track of the stats. Come on, Giannis.
But like he said, Jordan played for 15 years. What, he's got 5 rings, 6 rings?
6 rings.
The other years were L's. But he was building. Those are building. Those are. I'm on the fence of where, yeah, that was a failure, but you fell upwards. You got to learn. You got to figure out something may have shifted in the league. There may be. Back in those times there weren't power teams, but now we live in an era of power teams.
So you think it's like a black and white thing? You're not really you're not like all the way onto the side, because I'm all the way on the side. I see what he's saying, but at the same time, I'm like, no, nigga. Like if you're the first seed, he's the first seed. He's the best team in the league, right? And you go and you lose to the worst seed in the league. You lost. You failed.
There's a lesson to be learned. You lost, but you can fail. You can still fail upwards. There's a lesson to be learned.
Upwards shit, but you still failed though. You still failed. Like
you failed, but
a loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss. I'm not refuting a loss is a loss, but
okay, yeah. Because I thought you were saying
it's perspective. I agreed that it's perspective.
Right,
You're not going to get that promotion every year.
Yeah.
He probably didn't even say you may not get that promotion every year. You could say, well, fuck this job and go somewhere else where your talent's going to be more appreciated and you can get that upgrade.
Yeah.
The same thing on an NBA team. Well, you feel like this team is limiting your potential, get traded.
Yeah. I agree with that. I like the perspective point. I think that was really, really poignant of him and really, really well thought out. I don't know if that was off the cuff or if that's something he just thinks about. He kind of sounded like a little bit of a motivational speaker a little bit, where he was talking about like, just make it he said he didn't want to make it personal, but he did. Like, just think about it in your own personal life. Like, when you don't get the promotion, do you think of it as failing? Like, if you have a goal, that's what he was really getting at. Like, if you have a goal and you're working towards it every day, like, how can you say just because you took an L today that you failed? Because it's not over. Kobe used to say things like that too. So I like it. I like what he said. But at the same time, like, if we're talking about sports, no, nigga, you lost. You failed. Unfortunate, but you failed.
And my next question is, do they just troll? Like, every time these reporters seem like they troll.
All the time.
They're trying to bait out a reaction so they can say, oh my God, he got angry. Oh my God, he's a problem. He's a thug. Like,
the biggest thing that I hate when they do is like, okay, and ESPN does this too, right? Where it's like, everybody will be so silent. Everybody's waiting for the press conference or, the next segment. And they ask the stupid question. They go like, did the Milwaukee Bucks win the game or did the Miami Heat lose the game?
He was like,
things like
what?
that.
Didn't they ask, what's his name?
I think they asked Russell Westbrook
Russell
that.
Westbrook,
That's what you're talking about, that meme. I think they did ask him a question
like,
just
do
like
you
that.
think that they actually won the game?
Yeah, or did you guys lose?
He was like, what?
Like, what?
Like, did you not see the scoreboard? Like, did you see?
They'll ask stupid questions. Like, have you seen that other meme where I think he was in college? I think it's like Torian Prince or something like that. And it was a reporter asked him like, so you guys got out rebounded tonight. How did the other team do that? And he was like, how did they get more rebounds? He was like, yeah, you guys got out rebounded. How'd you let that happen? And the player was like, you go up for the ball and you grab it with 2 hands and you come down. That's called a rebound. Like, what are you asking?
There's got to be a
leading
compilation of that, bro. There has to be a compilation.
Yeah, there probably is.
Stupid reporter questions in NBA.
And I kind of like don't. There's stupid questions. Like you can ask a lot more nuanced, well thought out questions than, stupid generic shit. But at the end of the day, like you have to think like they're trying to do a job. Like, and it's probably not even their questions too.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you're like a Stephen A. Smith or something where you can just, pick up the phone and call somebody that you're doing a report on. You probably have like an editor who's like, no, we want you to find out this information so we can write a piece on this. So you're going to have to ask those types of leading questions. It's kind of unfortunate. And like
it kind
the
of
players
reminds me
hate
of
the media.
Kyrie, we talked about that a few weeks ago, where it was like, is LeBron like a father figure? And he was like giving it.
That was years ago.
Was that? I thought that was recent.
No, they just brought that up. They just resurfaced.
Oh, but it's the same. It's the same thing. Like, why would you ask him that?
Or just that's why they hate
my
the
father's
media,
name is XYZ.
That's why they hate the media. Because it's like, why am I talking? I know y'all have to do a job, and it's like it's all part of the business of sports, whatever. Because the media is able to put out their names out there, so that way they can even get paid the money that they get paid, and the business flourishes. But at the same time, it's like y'all are asking some dumbass questions. Y'all try to pin things on us. They even lie. Like Malika Andrews got outed for like actually lying about I think she was talking about Giannis too. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she was talking about Giannis, about him leaving his team and shit. And he was like, no, that's not true. Like they just be lying. Someone just be lying out their teeth.
And clickbaiting and clout chasing.
I get it though. Shit. You got to do what you got to do.
Ultimately, like end of the day, I feel for him, but I still feel like he's not trying to accept that it was an L.
No, because this happens to him all the time, yeah.
But
he even got gentleman swept by the same exact team.
Like the lesson probably is they probably underestimated them. Never underestimate, no matter. I don't care if you're playing a team that's trash. Never underestimate them. Yeah. If you underestimate them, you're gonna leave a weakness. You're gonna play low, closer to their level, and they might even take the game from you.
Yeah. You know who else, moving on, we shouldn't underestimate is Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow just came out with a new album.
And the shit was probably garbage. I didn't listen to it.
You never be listening to the new albums, bro. We about to talk about too. We about to talk about this album. I listened to it. I'll give my 2 cents on it. Jack Harlow, his last album, I really enjoyed. His first album, I thought it was whatever. I need to hear more. But the last album I liked. This album, 10 tracks, 12 tracks, something around there. Short album. I appreciate that, by the way. Tired of all these 24 track albums. 24 track
and with deluxe editions that add 10 more.
Yeah, exactly. Like LeBron was like, here go 2 more. Here go 2 more for y'all.
Or Chris Brown dropping a 50 track album.
Or even Mac DeMarco. I think Mac DeMarco, do you hear he released 100 something tracks? Bro, who's doing that? Unless you're a major fan, who's going to actually listen to
Nobody's actually going to sit and listen to that.
If I'm a fan, like if Beyonce released something 100 tracks, Drake released something 100 tracks, I'm not going to listen to that shit. I'm sorry. But anyway, the album was cool. I really don't have we normally do the rated out of 10 thing. I'll give it a 6. It wasn't trash. I just think that his beat selection is what carried the album. His commentary on certain topics, like he was talking about natural women, preferring natural women. He was talking about, what else was he talking about? He was talking about these white boys at the concerts and stuff like that, saying the N-word. I thought it was compelling. Right. Yeah, okay. I thought it was compelling commentary a little bit, but I think that the reason why I liked his last album so much is because he was trying to be a Drake clone. I know I'm not the only one that thought that either.
A lot of people try to be Drake. Even Tory Lanez is in some parts of his career, he was a Drake clone.
Yeah.
Straight up, no bullshit, no bullshit. That's straight up Drake clone, but
and that's fine because Drake is the one that's out here. He's gonna get you the most W's. Even getting featured with Drake, he's gonna get you the most W's. That sound wins. But the album is it was whatever. I'm not gonna go listen to it again.
I really think he's the most overhyped rapper in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, that's a statement.
Straight up industry plant.
You're gonna have to back that up because you say that all the time. You never back it up with facts though.
Whoever his manager is, whoever his record label is, they're doing whatever it takes to prop this guy up. He's about to be in that new movie, the remake of White Man Can't Jump. But they're propping this motherfucker up. Now maybe he might go.
So
to
you don't think he's talented? Because you just make the statement. You don't really elaborate.
I've listened to some of his music. I haven't listened to a whole bunch, but I've heard I've heard at least 10 Jack Harlow songs. I can't name it off the top of my head, but when he first came out, This is years ago, like when he was first coming out and he was getting a little buzz. I heard some of his songs. And I was like, this is cool. Like I was hanging out with some homies. We were on a long ride across LA for like an hour. And they were just playing nothing but Jack Harlow. I was like, this is cool.
Some white dudes?
I Shazammed it. No, it was some black guys.
See, that's why I can't say he's overrated, because black people listen to him. Black people listen to him the most. Black women are the ones that would be talking about how fine he is. Black people love Jack Harlow. And if black people are gonna come sign it, you know it's lit. You know it's hitting on something.
I don't know.
And
man.
know that's facts. You know that's facts.
But we gotta translate into the cap that he was spewing. He said he thinks he's the best white rapper since Eminem.
And he could say that. What he
cap.
Was that an interview?
I believe that was an interview, but I don't remember. I don't know what interview it was, but
he could say that shit. You know, everybody's gonna speak highly of themselves right before an album comes out. You want people to listen to it. He called the album Jackman. Jackman.
That's funny,
nigga. That's corny as hell.
That is corny as hell.
If you're gonna say something like that, you're gonna be able to you gotta back it up. You know, you gotta back it up with some. You gotta talk about yourself a little bit. I don't think that they need. I'm not the one personally. I'm not the one to be talking about white rappers. Y'all got mad at me the last time I talked about white rappers. Y'all got mad at me. So I'm not. I'm really not the one.
I think Mac Miller shits on this dude. We can be. I
don't like Mac Miller.
We can cap. We can lie. I'm curious to know what people think about this.
No, because they can get mad at us like
Mac
last
Miller
time.
Or Jack Harlow.
You guys forgot
who really
Vanilla
was out here
Ice.
doing this?
Bro, who's talking about Vanilla Ice?
Get out of here. That's trolling.
No, they were up
That's
in our
blasphemy.
comments like saying you forgot Vanilla Ice.
That's blasphemy.
Naming people.
That's
ain't nobody
blasphemy.
ever heard.
Don't bring that dude. That's blasphemy. Vanilla Ice. That's blasphemy. Let's stop right now.
Ain't nobody even heard of this.
No, Mac Miller.
People know Vanilla Ice, but
put some respect on it. Like
Mac Miller's cool, bro. It's like I don't really care about Mac Miller like that. Jack Harlow can say whatever he wants to say, but everybody knows he's not up to par with Eminem. He could just say what he wants to say for marketing reasons, and that's okay.
And
say
they
what you
said
got to say.
Tentacion was like the Gen Z Tupac. Like
he didn't say that though.
He didn't say that, but people were saying that. He
there.
didn't say that, but ignorance were saying that.
That was the ignorance out there that
we know that's cap.
Loony shit.
The same people would probably realize, I was hitting that pipe hard.
And I thought you said that too. I thought you were one of the ones who was like,
I probably was because I was hitting that pipe. Like I don't know if y'all seen that picture of Dancing Idris.
You had to go to rehab on that one.
At the end of Snowfall, he was like, he looked like a bum, and he was like pretending like he was hitting the crack pipe. Like I was hitting the pipe.
I'm glad you took your ass to rehab because that was incorrect.
It was incorrect.
That was incorrect. Want to talk about Chance the Rapper?
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has seen this video circulating on Twitter.
Everybody's seen the video. The man was literally getting the lap dance.
Twerked on at like a Caribbean festival. And people were like, is this cheating? Man has a whole wife. I don't know if he has kids, but it's been years. So he probably has kids with her.
He has children.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you at a Caribbean festival just twerking. Women are twerking on you. Half naked women are getting twerked on, throwing ass, cheeks.
Now you said, is it cheating?
Is it cheating? That's a big discussion on Twitter. Is it cheating? Or if it's not cheating, that's just indecent to do when you have her. It's not. Do you think it's, first off, is it cheating? And then if it isn't cheating, is it okay or is it still an indecent thing to do when you have a significant other?
My analytical mind takes me to all types of different places, bro. But the first thing I have to say is like, what is so different about him getting a lap dance at some festival versus if he was up in the strip club? Nobody would say anything if he was in the strip club getting a lap dance or looking at strippers. So what's the difference? How is it cheating?
I think it's not necessary. I don't think it's cheating. Like I think cheating is like y'all making out or fucking or whatever, but like I still think it's like very inappropriate, and some people would call it cheating, and some people
so if your nigga
for them. I feel like it's very inappropriate, and I think it's you should not do that.
But if the nigga was in a strip club, what's the difference?
There is no difference. It's
so then what the hell?
I didn't say I don't agree that it's cheating. I agree from the perspective that it's inappropriate. You should not be doing inappropriate.
That. Like if you, so you,
it's
married,
like flirting with somebody. Like you married and you just openly flirting. You're not kissing them. You may not fuck. But you're entertaining people. Like you're entertaining stuff that could
I don't get it. That woman is a dancer.
Lead to cheating.
That woman is a dancer. That woman is entertainment. He can get some entertainment.
But then you have to keep that same energy though. Your wife can go to like a Magic Mike club and get grinded on by a nigga.
Cool.
Like,
that's entertainment. If that's the entertainment that she likes and that's the entertainment,
what if the dude is grabbing her ass and dancing with her and grinding? You're not gonna feel some type of way?
Chance the Rapper
I can't get behind that.
Was getting danced on. Chance the Rapper was getting danced on, and that's period, point blank. That I didn't see any difference between that and being at a strip club. I don't see the difference. I don't even understand why people got so upset about it. Now, if I saw my lady up in there, I'm gonna have a different perspective.
But I don't understand how you can have a perspective when it's you, but when you see it's somebody else, it's fine. But when it's your girl, oh no,
I don't know their whole dynamic. Now, what's her name? I don't know where her name is, but Chance the Rapper's wife did say something about it. So, and it sounded like it was a little alluding to the fact that like she disagreed with what he was doing. She called him childish. No pun intended. She called him childish. So.
She you probably a grown ass man, 30-some-year-old man with children. Like, fuck are you doing?
I mean, when
it comes to me personally, it's not cheating, but it's disrespectful and it's disgusting to me. It's just like you want to grunt on other men, we shouldn't be together. So maybe in that sense, I guess I'm considering it cheating if I think it's enough for me to ask you that question. Well, if you want to grind on men, you want to entertain other men.
Leave him for that?
I wouldn't just leave him straight up. I'm gonna ask the question. If that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it with no strings attached. I don't really care. If you want to entertain niggas, it's the same thing. But to me, it's the same.
It's just dancing.
To me, it's the same thing.
You seen the massages that them niggas be doing in Jamaica and shit in the islands where they're
like
the women,
these buff ass dudes be like
real
sensual. Twirling them around and like hugging them, and they asses like in their face, and then like stretching the legs. Like
that's completely different than what
hell
we say,
no.
What
and they like oiling them down, and
you hear what I'm saying though. Like if something like that was going down,
that's cheating. And that's straight up cheating to me.
Now getting danced on, okay, wow.
Bro, but like
2 minutes out of your life,
it's a sexual.
You were
dance,
out with your homies,
my dude.
You were out with your homies, and somebody twerked on you. And that's a whole nother story.
It's different than like you just out with your homies and you just walking, you just get twerked on versus the dude is participating and grabbing the ass and like getting in rhythm, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and you got a wife and children at home. Like,
bro, let her have
if you want to entertain, like, and she's probably asking him, if you want to be a little kid and entertain other women, then go do it full time.
Let her have.
Don't worry, don't mess with me.
If the lady was out doing some Magic Mike shit, let her have some fun. It's not like she's doing that shit every night, every week, every month. Nah. She has some fun one time, nigga. Like, damn.
That's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope to an open relationship to me.
How? And like, because I got danced on?
Because like I feel like it's gonna progress. Like we're living in a time of advancing AI and technology. Like imagine 10, 20 years from now, you put the headset on.
We're not talking about that.
No, but I'm thinking, I know we're not talking about that, but I just want to frame it like this, where it's like, it's going to progress. Like you open the door to so much shit is what I'm saying. It's like, imagine in the future, you're having VR sex that feels real. And you're just going to tell your wife, it's just porn.
Yeah.
But what if you're doing it with other people? But it's like, but it's just a game. Like it's not real.
I mean, yeah, it's just porn. It's not real.
It's just porn.
It's
but you're engaging in sexual intercourse.
This conversation makes me uncomfortable because I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right. We can agree to disagree. I just my last point is just if you're gonna vice versa, if you're gonna entertain other dudes, or if I'm entertaining other women, she's in her very well within her rights to tell me, well, go do that full time then. Let's cut the strings off.
I don't. It's just so. I don't
no
know
hard
why.
feelings, and I understand it both ways.
But I feel like this is so innocent. Like it might not be the most innocent thing, but this is very innocent to me. Like I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
And people were saying like Caribbean, like, well, you don't understand Caribbean culture. That's normal. And there were Caribbean people in the comments. Dance, you know? There were Caribbean people in the comments saying, no, don't listen to these people. I'm not comfortable with this. We're not comfortable with this. So it's definitely not across the board. It's definitely a who you ask kind of thing.
It's an interesting debate.
Me personally, I'm good on that.
It's an interesting debate. You know what's another debate that people were having that shouldn't be up to debate at all is if Usher could do the Super Bowl. He was on. He was being interviewed, and he said that he thinks that he deserves a Super Bowl performance. I agree with him.
I think it's Usher. It's Usher.
Usher, baby.
We know Usher. Everybody knows Usher. If you don't know Usher, you live under a rock.
Because I heard we talked to a few people, and they were saying not a few people, but we talked to somebody. And he was saying that he didn't think Usher was popular enough.
We have a homie who said he didn't think Usher was popular enough, and he brought up a picture. He was like, "Just look at his social media followers."
Yeah, because I said if Justin Timberlake, I think this is a good argument. If Justin Timberlake could do the Super Bowl, and people beneath Justin Timberlake as well have done the Super Bowl, but it's kind of changed over time. Like now it's a spectacle. If Justin Timberlake can do the Super Bowl, I don't see why Usher couldn't. Usher is more popular than Justin Timberlake.
He put him up together. He put him up together and was like, Usher has 1 million followers. Justin Timberlake has 10. There's levels to it.
Stupid.
It's impossible. Like,
based off the Instagram followers.
Like, Usher just doesn't have the pull. I'm like, Usher? Like, I don't. Maybe this is a black community thing. Maybe we're being biased.
I was just about to get there because like the Super Bowl is changing where it's like now you can start to see like some hip hop acts, and Usher's more R&B, but you know I don't think we really see that many black R&B acts at the Super Bowl. Besides like Mary J. Blige showed up, but that was still around like when they were doing Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, so it was still like rap. Usher could be that guy that breaks that barrier. We see some R&B in there. Because Janet Jackson did it. I mean, Prince did it. Michael Jackson did it.
Usher going to open the floodgates. Then you're going to see like 6 Lack and like Daniel Caesar. Or not 6 Lack, Black. I don't know why I keep calling him 6 Lack. Because they used to call him 6 Lack back in the day.
That's what it says. This nigga got upset because he was like, oh my God, I can't believe people aren't calling me by my name. Like, no, it says 6 Lack. What you mean? I don't understand.
But
nobody, he's not doing that. Nobody, those level, that caliber, no. Maybe like SZA, but they don't do like
SZA. I don't think SZA can do a live. I don't think SZA could do a Super Bowl live.
Yes, she could. I don't know if her anxiety. I don't know if she personally could handle that anxiety because I know she has anxiety and stuff like that. I don't know if she personally could do it, but she could do that shit. SZA's on tour right now. I think at this very moment, selling out arenas and shit. She could do that shit easily. Jay-Z already did it, right?
I think so. Beyonce, we know, did it. Yeah.
Beyonce did it. Rihanna did it this year. Yeah. So they're starting to get some blacks up in there. They starting to get some Africans. We need to get some more in there. I think Usher would be great. He has hits. Like all you want from a Super Bowl
Usher has so many slappers. Come on. Usher is actually probably one of the most simpler ones, I think.
Yeah. All you want is to just be able to sing along to the songs. Everybody, bro, he can go by decades. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about Usher is when the people that don't know, they just don't know. So our friend, he just don't know. He must not know. Some of y'all just might not know, but Usher goes back to the 90s. So
Usher was all the time I was a little kid. Usher was banging. Early 2000s, as a little kid, just being a little kid, don't even really know what music. I didn't even have an iPod. Didn't have any artists. We would just be in a car coming from church on a Sunday. Usher was just slamming in the car. Like
you could go.
Grew up on Usher.
90s R&B. You can go to the 2000s, bro. Confessions. You can go to some of the Neptunes beats. You don't have to call. You could go back to when we were in middle school. You can go when he was starting to make that jumping like dance music. DJ's got us fun. I'm not going to wow you guys. I'm not going to wow you guys with my
slappers.
pipes.
I'm telling you, that was a slapper.
Dude, he has hits.
Mm-hmm. Or that Tiny Desk when he came out for that Tiny Desk, like that was the potential. You could see the potential. Like I know Tiny Desk is a different vibe, but like
by the way,
still got it.
By the way, this man does have a fucking residency on the Las Vegas Strip, so it's not like he's like not popular enough. Like that argument is out of the water. Now, if y'all want to be racist about it and to say no, people don't listen to R&B, that's that black music. If y'all want to go there with it, that's a different story. But Usher should definitely be a Super Bowl contender. Definitely. What else we got? Or you have something to say?
Oh, I'm just saying that's pretty. I'm surprised you didn't challenge him on it though. Like,
because I can't have those conversations with people. I can't have those conversations with people. If you don't know, you don't know, and you don't need to know. Go ahead and do your own research. I'll wait. That's how I view it. I'm not gonna be the one that, because all people are gonna do is push back on it. Oh no. How are you gonna say that a nigga that's been around since before you were born isn't famous enough? Like, what are you talking about? What are we even talking about? The man is still selling and charting and getting different types of selling out arenas and shit. We just saw, like, did you see Zendaya and Tom Holland? Like, he touches generations that aren't even like, people that are his age, like in his demographic, immediate demographic. People that are out there still listening to his music. So stop.
What you mean? You said Zendaya and Tom Holland?
Yeah, Zendaya and Tom Holland were at his concert in Vegas.
Oh, I didn't see that. Of course, man, because Usher is that guy. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
And they're like around our age. Like, they know who Usher is. Like, let's stop. Like,
we need to stop.
Zendaya knows who Usher is. Like, let's stop. Like, of course, she probably grew up listening to Usher. Of course, I don't know about Tom Holland. I don't know how big Usher was in the UK, but. Is he British? Or am I forgetting something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
That's
don't know how
a
big
funny
that
thought.
shit was.
That's a funny thought,
So
though.
he probably dragged his ass to that concert. What you mean? Like, he knows who Usher is.
That's an interesting couple too. I like their dynamic.
So
All right,
yeah.
what else? Yeah, what else we got?
The
Let's
last
move on.
topic we got is about Steven Crowder. So those who don't know, he's like a right wing quote unquote comedian.
Son of a bitch.
And he was getting exposed. They call him the Crowder tapes dropped of him and his pregnant wife.
Crowder
having an
tapes?
argument. The Crowder tapes. That's what
That's
they call
funny.
it.
Who
I
leaked
don't know.
it?
I have no idea who leaked it. I just know it was a Ring camera. It was like a little Ring camera like outside, and it captured the audio.
Right.
And he basically was like sitting outside, just like abused, like a narcissist.
He
just
was
abusing his
her.
wife. Like, you have to be this. You have to be a traditional woman, and you can't take the car. Yeah. He said, "I'll walk," and he's like, "No, you don't. You need the keys." And he was like, "Well, a woman has to be disciplined. A woman needs to do this. You need to listen to your husband." And
It's kind of weird, but I don't understand how these men who like they agree with like this alpha male shit and they try to put off that type of persona. If you listen to Steven Crowder, who I'm not familiar with a lot of his rhetoric, but based off what I heard in that Ring tape, I'm going to assume that he follows a lot of that type of shit. He agrees with that type of shit. But if you just listen to how he sounds like a bona fide bitch. He sounds like a bitch made punk to me. He's whining. You need to, what am I going to look like if I'm just here alone and I don't know where you are at all hours of the night? You sound like a bitch boy. Who wants that shit? She divorced him, didn't she?
yeah,
That
tape
makes
was from
sense.
months ago. Yeah, that was before.
That
months
makes
before.
sense.
He was like gaslighting her, and he was just being like a narcissistic prick. And she was like, "I'll go to the store and get the things that you like, but just give me some space." Like, no, you need to be. A woman has to be disciplined. A woman has to. It's like, nigga, like, can you step off for a little bit?
You won't do the dishes. He was saying shit like that. You won't, if you won't put the gloves on and do the dishes. What are we even talking about anymore? Like, I feel like the conversation has just got so blown out of the water to where, like, first of all, anybody can talk about it. I'm talking about like dynamics between like straight people relationships, like men and women, straight relationships. I feel like that the male versus female gender battle is just getting really, really out of hand at this point.
I just feel like it's just a lot of misogynist dudes. Because, like I said, we were talking about this a few weeks ago about how the manosphere is like a portal into the right wing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not surprising. The dude's like a racist, like a fascist, just like a right wing jackass. It's just imagine just a right wing asshole. And he also is just a traditionalist who mentally abuses his wife and maybe even physically abuses her. They said after the tape ended, there was reports that he got mad and said, I'm a fucking hurt you. I'm a fucking attack you.
It sounds weak to me.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, it's not surprising that a dude who just agrees with all this negative shit. Also, it's like, women need to be in the kitchen. It's like everything negative and just like cuckish. These guys are just all for everything negative and just wrong side of history. These guys are all for.
Yeah, and we were talking about Steve Harvey's interview with Shannon Sharp and how he was saying, when he was speaking about the dynamic, he was talking about how like men these days are just so fucking soft about this whole like phrasing of like, what do women bring to the table and shit like that. Like, why at what point did we as men need to start stooping to the lowest level and start talking about how women need to bring us something? Like, what are we contributing? You know what I'm saying? Like, worry about your damn self. You know, if someone wants to come along for the ride, cool. But what is it? You want somebody at the end of the day. You think that you want somebody. You want to cater to somebody. You want somebody. You want a relationship, right? So then just worry about yourself. Eventually, people are just going to come along. I don't get it.
But what do you mean? What do you mean by worry about yourself? Like,
worry about building ourselves. Why are we so? And it's different with the Steven Crowder thing. He's married or whatever. I still don't agree with what he was saying.
So you're more of on the law of attraction, where if you focus on you building yourself, you're going to attract someone who's building herself.
Duh.
So you guys are I understand that, but you guys are so. I'm just clarifying. You guys are so compatible.
No, I wasn't saying duh to you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's obvious. You know what I'm saying?
You're so compatible. There really isn't the thing. You don't have to ask that question because y'all are just so high level. You guys just kind of balance each other out and just bring so many different things. You don't have to really talk about it.
If you're valuable, see that, and that's the one thing I actually agree with when like this manosphere talk is like the high value thing. If you're a valuable person, not just a valuable man, but if you're a valuable person, people are going to notice your value because it's obvious. It's obvious to everybody. If you're a great person to be around, if you are generous, if you're loving, if you're doing all these things that are just great traits and very, very valuable to people, right? People naturally are just going to see the value in you and want to be around you or want to cater to that, want to help that spread more. So yeah, you're probably going to get some people that are like, hey, I would love to be in a relationship with you. I'd love to marry you. I mean, I think that just naturally happens. I don't understand why people think that they need to put on this persona of like, I'm an alpha male and I'm walking around as an alpha male and I speak this type of way and I talk this way to women, calling people bitches and shit like that. That's not necessary. I don't even see how people can get brainwashed into believing that that's a way to actually get women is by turning them off. And they fucking tell you. Do you guys listen? Do you even talk to women? They will tell you that alpha male shit we're not attracted to that. And all the people that you see, all the women that you see that are like pandering to that shit, we've talked about that here before too. All the women that are pandering to that shit,
they
doing
don't
that shit for
that
likes.
Shit. They get in the bag. Because it's like kind of, it's corny. Like, you know how many like women are just like, oh my gosh, Andrew Tate, he's the man. I want my man to be just like him. Like some lady I just saw my algorithm. I was just like, really, nigga?
They doing that.
It was like weird. Like you could feel the grift. A lot of times people are sneakier with it, but it's just like, do you hear what this guy literally says about women?
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh yeah, I want a man just like him.
Mm-hmm.
I like his rhetoric. And the dudes in the comments are like, oh my God, you're a subservient woman. We need more.
Yeah.
It's like,
they either want your bag or they get in the bag from somebody else. Period.
That's the new hustle. Like if you can't get the money on OnlyFans, start talking about how you're a subservient woman and you subscribe to the Andrew Tateism.
Yeah.
And the
I don't know why we
Samuelsism.
can't all just be like, yay, we're all human beings and we all understand that we all want somebody at the end of the day that cares for us and loves us. So let's do the best that we can to look how I sound so
and we can work together and split up roles to do what we need to do if we have a family, especially to get the shit done.
Like, how did that become soft? How did that become weak and beta? What are we talking about?
But they think it's
anymore?
beta. It's like, well, if you don't have a woman who's serving you, you ain't a real man. She didn't submit,
me, bro. Like, who wants a fucking maid? Who wants somebody that's just gonna wait on them?
I mean, that's why you have a partner. You have a teammate. Like that's what it makes sense to me. Y'all should be working together. Now, y'all might not necessarily do all the same things, but like y'all are working together. But niggas like that Crowder shit just seems like the nigga just wants a servant. He wants 1950s. Like, I control your bank account and your estate.
Yeah, based off that insecurity, dog. Because it's like, I know that I'm such a poor person and you don't really need me. And I don't really serve you any type of real value. So that makes me insecure because when you leave the house, I'm thinking that you're going out looking for someone who's more valuable than me, who can actually serve you well. That's what that shit is. I mean, we sound pretty wise for our age. I don't know about you, but I think we sound pretty wise for our age.
All right, y'all. This is a good episode. Let us know. Give us some feedback, comment, like, subscribe, everything.
Yep.
Go to the link
check in with us.
Check in.
Same place, same time next week. As always.
Take it easy.
Peace.